Hello to my video diary. Um, I'm basically recording this is gonna be super quick. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but the date is 3/11, and I am happy to say that I accomplished most of my goals today. Not all of them. I had, I basically, I've this is the day that I'm starting this new strategy of like developing my hobbies. Um, I'm basically just gonna allot like 30-minute time slots into each one because 30 minutes is like substantial, but it's also not like exhausting because um there's a lot of ways you can approach building a hobby. Like I watched this YouTube video a couple months back about like I think it was over the summer, and it was like how to write a book. And he was like, "Well, if you dedicate like 4 hours a day every week or whatever." But I don't know. He it was much more than that. It was a substantial amount of time basically that I was like, I could see myself doing that, but not really. And it's like the 30 minutes for each. So I have four goals, okay? I'm skipping around a lot because that's how I talk. But I have four goals, okay? I want to learn a new language, which is Arabic, Arabia. I want to learn how to produce and make music. I want to better my singing voice. And I want to be a writer. So instead of I used to be like, oh, I'm going to do an hour of this, or when I get home, I'm going to do this for this many hours. And I was always looking at how can I accomplish this in the quickest way possible. Like old me might have thought, if I don't spend 4 hours writing, sitting down and writing, then it isn't worth my time. Then there's no point in doing it at all. More black and white thinking. But now I'm like, no, like, build those habits. Like, once I get into the habit of writing for 30 minutes every day and the discipline of like, I'm so satisfying because now I can say, like, I'm a writer. I write for 30 minutes every single day. I'm disciplined. It's a really refreshing feeling versus like that overwhelm of being like, oh my God, I have to write for 4 hours every day, or for 4 hours, we'll sit down in one sitting and write for 4 hours. It's just too much, I stopped looking at things in the, all right, well, how long is it going to take me to do this? The time is going to pass. You know what I mean? And like, what was I doing 10 years ago? 10 years ago was 2016. And I was a baby in 2016, but we all remember 2016. People say it was like the last fun year or the last real year. And I agree to an extent, but like that passed by quick. And 6 years since it's been 6 years since 2020. That time passed by quick. So now I'm trying to build a present that is gonna support my future. Like, because I know that like 6 years from now, 30 minutes a day doesn't seem like a lot, but 6 years from now, that's gonna be a lot of required minutes, And it's like I could have spent the 90 minutes or so, or like the 2-ish hours or so. I spent way more than 30 minutes trying to learn FL Studios, but still, you know, the baseline is 30 minutes. And I'm super proud of myself. I'm super proud that I wrote for 30 minutes and it was like flowing. Even though it was flowing though, I was still like checking the time like, all right, are we almost done here? But I love writing. I loved that feeling. I felt so in control and so happy while I did it. And as for the production side of things, it's hard. It's really hard. I realize like I need a job. I need a job. I keep saying I want a big girl job because I do want like eventually to have my own in-home studio. And inshallah, we will get it. We will get it. But But I want to be able to eventually get a piano, teach myself piano, get a guitar, teach myself guitar. I'm sad that I didn't learn piano growing up, but I learned violin, and like some of the skill has to be transferable. You know what I mean? It's not like I was left completely in the dust. And it's like I'm still relatively young. Like I'm not as young as I would love to be. Like I would love to be 16. But no, I wouldn't. I'm such a liar. This is the perfect time. I'm such a liar. I'm sitting up here telling y'all I would love. No, I actually believe in divine timing, and I believe in timing in my life specifically so much. Like, God has truly dipped his hand in my life, and I believe in divine timing. And like, now I think I have the maturity, the perspective. I know exactly what I want to say, not exactly how I want to say it, but I know exactly what I want to say, how I want to say it. And writing and singing now, like that stuff is gonna come easier because I have a vision and I want to share that with the world. And that's what art is. It's just sharing your vision with the world. Um so yeah, but I'm a writer at heart. And it just feels so good to like have actually written something. And I think this 30 minutes strategy is ultimately going to work. The only thing I want to add is exercise. I need to get my steps in. Um, and I'll figure out how I can do that. I think after, because this program I'm in a program. It's it's just like a mental health program, but like it's PHP, and it takes up like my whole day. And I'm realizing like I have gained some maturity, and I have grown up since like the last time I needed to do something like this. Even so, like I remember last year. Actually, the fact that it's only been a year is crazy. It felt like this year has like the last year of my life was crazy. Like in terms of like the glow up, in terms of like my life, like starting. Like I'm just thinking about like last year this time. I was starting out completely different. It was a completely different starting. I was starting out with completely different cards, and but I pedaled to the metal. I worked hard. Like last year, this time I was really worried about friends and not having enough friends. And then by the end of the year, like I had a lot. So much so that like I was writing everyone letters and stuff. Um and last year I had to do like an intensive outpatient program. Um this time it's a little bit more annoying just because I have to get up so early for it. Not so early, but I like naturally waking up. I don't like waking up and feeling groggy, which I do right now, but it's fine. Um, but yeah, mentally I've been well. Um, I've been well mentally, but I think what I was saying is different is that like this time like it is difficult. I'm realizing like I have some judgment, not a lot, but I do have some judgment towards other people when I'm in group with them. And now I realize like I'm just fundamentally at a different place than a lot of the people in program. And I'm fundamentally at a different place than I was a year ago. Like I think a year ago I really could have sat down and like listened and been like and related maybe a bit more to other people and their problems. But now it's like I completely see life differently. It's like like I see life as like do or die, like sink or swim. Like you know what I mean? Like I truly look at life now as like you choose your experience, heavy on the choose. And we don't choose what happens to us, but of course the we choose how we react, da 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 da. But I'm really getting back into like my Neville Goddard and like, oh, that's what I should do before bed. I should read. Yeah, that's what I should do. I think what I'm gonna do before I go to sleep, I think I'm gonna watch like an episode or two of like South Park or something else, and then I'm probably gonna read the Neville Goddard. Like, I'll show you. It's like an anthology. Is that the right word? Of all his works, and so it's kind of like a little Bible. It's like the Neville Goddard Bible. That's what I wanted to call it. Um, but I think I'm gonna read this. And everyone has different dreams. And I honestly, the way I think, yeah, like karma, I think if whether or not you get to experience those dreams involves like a bit of karma and like if it's meant for you, if your dream it aligns with God's dream, then it will happen. That's how I see it. But yeah. I'm gonna skip to feeling is the secret because that's the one everybody like raves about. Except I don't know where my glasses are at all, which sucks. Um, but yeah, I just like I don't know. When I'm in group, I don't really have anything to process just because it's like I don't really know what I would be processing. Like I because I have pretty much processed everything internally myself already. And now I need to like create art to express it like but but yeah, like I guess the thing that the way I view it now, I hate to say this because it sounds so bitchy, because it is. It's coming from a place of judgment, but like I'll just be like, this is so whiny. Like every time I go into group, and it's like you don't know why people are in group or sad or complaining about what they're complaining about. But now I see it as like because the way I see life is so simple now, I'm just like, you choose to either roll with it and roll with it completely, or or not. Like that's how I view life now. You know what I mean? And it's like you can either like change, make the change that you want to see, or die talking about it. You know what I mean? Like I just sorry if you heard that Discord notification. But I what motivates me is that I'm terrified cuz like this we all can agree, right? These last five years passed by mighty quick, didn't they? Time is not this objective. I don't know. It might just be because we're older, but time is a god within itself, and I don't want to piss off that god. You know what I mean? And it's like I feel like God rules over time, and time will slow down and it can speed up. Because these past 5 years passed by fast as hell. Am I the same person 5 years ago as I am now? No. But 5 years ago, which is crazy to say, 5 whole years have passed since I was 16 and in junior high, I guess. Or maybe just starting. No, hold on. I was a sophomore 5 years ago. Yeah. 5 years ago, I was like a sophomore. And in high school, and I'm a completely different person than I am now, you know? And 4 years ago, I stopped, like 4 years ago, junior high, I had a great year that year. And I stopped allowing myself to be depressed. You know, I don't know how, but like I came up out of my depression that junior year, and that year I was so locked into like manifestation and Neville Goddard and everything, and that set me up. Like, and I got more into astrology and stuff, and like reading astrology over and over and over again. And I didn't realize it then, but I was rewriting my subconscious, like learning astrology and like looking at my chart and seeing and reading like all of the great things that were like destined for me, like being a Danishta sun. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, forgive me. But being a Danishta sun and like a Rohini moon and reading about like the good and bad of those signs and just getting so into astrology and believing in it so much, like I think it helped me change my change how I saw myself subconsciously, because it's so easy to latch on to the negative, but when like the positive is right there and it's screaming you in the face, like how do you not take it? I don't know, but I'm just personally terrified of the day you're so young doesn't come. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm only 21 and I look even younger. I look like I'm 16. That's what people often tell me. But I am so scared. Like life passes by in the blink of an eye. And I'm so terrified of waking up one day and being in the slog, if that makes sense, and living in the dream on, I forget the word, but it's that Langston Hughes poem. The dream unchased. Like that's not the correct word, but living in that dream and like waking up and living in that I have to find it. I have to find it. I'm sorry. Okay, I just looked it up. I'm so scared of living in that dream deferred. You know what I mean? Go look at that poem if you've never read it. I think everyone has, because, like, it's a very famous poem. But I'm so scared of living in that dream deferred. And the crazy thing about, like, writing and music and creating, I know for a fact if I don't do, like, because the thing is, academia, this is the true tea, okay? Academia is what I know I'm good at and what will give me a sense of a like fake sense of security because, you know, it's boring. It's what everybody else does. You go to school for a while, hopefully you can land a job that makes you 50, 60K. You pack up, you go home, good night. Right? Like, and I'm good at school. You know, when I put my all into it, or not even my all, when I put like my 70% into school, then I get straight A's. I can get straight A's, you know? If I'm like 100% or 80% responsible and, you know, I'm not procrastinating or falling into this rabbit hole or that rabbit hole, I do school great. But that's boring. You know what I mean? That's boring. And there is a timeline out there, and I feel for her. I feel for the Tasia out there. I don't even think that me exists. Like I was about to say, like there's probably a me out there that went the boring path and is happy or unhappy, but I don't even think that's true. But my soul was made here to create. You know, the way I see art, the way I see things, the things I have to say, you know, and creating is not for, well, some people, everybody's good at a different thing. You know what I'm saying? So, cause some people are born are really good at criticism, at consuming and then giving you a critique of it. That's what some people are really good at. And then, some people don't want to do any of it, don't want to have to do anything of that shit. Some people just want to be on a farm. But we can't do that because of alienation. We can. But it's so sad because like all of these people's problems, I be listening to them and I'm just like Marxist, and it's just like Marxist theory of alienation, like over and over and over and over again. And it's like, it's just people realizing that like the suburban slog is not for them, you know. But yeah, I know I have to create things like, and that's how you build a legacy. That's how you. I want to take the road less traveled or whatever, the road untraveled. But I do love school. That's the thing. So this is not me saying I'm gonna drop out. Not yet, at least. I want a job. I need a job so I can like pay for my at home studio and then pay to go to a real studio eventually. And, get my toes dipped in that arena. Um, but yeah, but I'm just so scared of running out of time. Like, and people love saying to me, "Oh, you're so young, like you can figure it out." And it's like, girl, don't say that to me, because that's how you get trapped. That's how you get trapped. Okay, people around me, my age, graduated, a boy, and this is the difference between like comparing, because I'm not comparing to put myself down. I'm just stating facts. Like, people are out here my age bracket with a whole ass masters, okay, with with degrees, okay, and I am not there yet. Now that's not me putting myself down. I just have a different path from these people because I have my degree too. It doesn't come in a paper, but trust me, I got a degree, okay. But it's like I oh, Spice, you want to be in it? My goat right here. You can't really see her, and I'm not putting it down. The camera. Okay, maybe I can a little. My queen, my literal goat right there. Look at the camera. You're so stubborn. She's private. She said no. Her beauty is not for this camera. But I'm just terrified of one day like waking up and being like and regretting it and being like I should have done this when I was 21. You know what I mean? That's probably how maybe I'll feel that way about like stocks or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, 2022 was one of the best years for me, and that was like my I was super into the astrology, the Neville Goddard of it all. And then I just like fell. And then senior year came and I was really pushing myself, but I just fell off. Like I don't know what happened. I got so depressed senior year. But no, it was the burnout. It was the burnout. I remember I was pushing myself, pushing myself, pushing myself, and then I got into NSLI, and because that was my one goal. That wasn't my one goal. That's not true. But that was like my top priority one. I was obsessed with NSLI, and I like really wanted to get in, and I got in, and after that, I was like, I don't have the energy for anything else. So, and good on me, I made it to Morocco. But this baby right here. I think I want to go to Feeling is the Secret. Let's just read a random page out of Feeling is the Secret. Like a random quote. Page 79. So, it's page 79. I could have paused, but I didn't. This is boring, right? Hmm. But I'm not gonna read it out. Um, okay, I'll read the line that came up to me at first. It says the conscious objective or male aspect is the head that dominates the subconscious subjective or female aspect. I do remember listening to the trying to listen to the audio. I think I did complete the audio because it is a very short audiobook. I think I did complete the audiobook of Feeling is the Secret actually. Um but yeah. Yeah, and it's like I don't really know. I'm trying to get as much as I can out of the program and try to walk away with whatever skills I need to from it. But it's like I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. My thing is like this is let's say it's my second time being hospitalized. It's not, but let's say it is. Um, it's my second time in an adult like PHP/IOP program. Okay, I don't want to have to do this again. You know what I mean? I don't want to be. I don't want to be 30 in there in this. So I want to be 40 odd year old trying to learn like the basics of how to handle my emotions. I really don't. I truly do not. And, um, and that's no judgment because everybody's on their own path. But it's just like I don't want to have to learn the lesson again, the lesson over and over and over again. I don't, you know. But yeah, I think what changed for me was like I watched like Charlotte Morabito. She's really good. I might revisit her stuff. Even though I look at her stuff and I was like, damn, this is really for a past version of me because like I don't need to watch any of these videos now, like with the titles. But basically, but she really targets like women who are like kind of low in self confidence and stuff. But the way she phrased it, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was just like she was just like very like about it, and I really respect her. She really helped me. But yeah, cheers to a new life. This was 30 minutes of journal entry. Cheers to a new life. I want to say more though. What else? Yeah, you gotta let go and let God. Like that's I've truly internalized that, and it's like I don't know why I'm in a PHP program again. Like there's a part of me that wants to be like, ah, that doesn't want to go, right? But I know that God has me there for a reason. And it's just like I'm just letting go and letting God. Like I truly I let God have control over my life. Like I'm like my mind is saying like I don't know where he's taking me. I don't know where God is gonna take me, but God is gonna take me somewhere good. I know that. So, I put my trust in God. And I put my faith and that's why and how. Look at my cat. She's so cute. She refuses to be on camera. For respect her privacy. But yeah, I think I'm just thinking about like how my life is gonna change a year from now. I don't know. A year from now, hope, hopefully I'm like a quarter way. Yes, like I stopped planning for the now and I started planning for the 10 years. Because now it's like I start habits and I'm like, can I maintain this for 10 years? I can't maintain writing 2 hours every day or an hour every day for 10 years. But I can see myself writing, sitting down, writing, pumping out 30 minutes, 10 years. I can see myself doing that. It's like I'm working for Tasia in her 30s, who still looks like a 20-something-year-old. Cause we got those black medics. Okay, but yeah, this was a really good check-in. There's still more I want to say. I still want to talk. I love talking. But yeah, plan for 10 years instead of 5 or whatever. Just in it just feels good because it's like I'm not just talking about doing something, I actually did it. So I'm just giving myself a big round of applause. Like I actually wrote the damn thing. I actually tried. Like I'm trying. I'm trying. And hopefully a year from now, I hope a year from now, I understand FL Studios. And when I think of a melody, I can just do what I need to do to hear it for real. That's what I want. But yeah. And shout out to Wakanda. Shout out Wakanda for keeping me alive. Shout out to God for keeping me alive. Gotta make him proud. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I was listening to a lot of the people in my program talk, it's just like at the end of the day, you have a choice. Like you can either live your life or you can let your life live you. If that makes sense. And I just realized like I'm really past this because it's like I procrastinate chores still, but it's like, damn, like if I see dirty dishes, I'm gonna just do them. You know what I mean? Like if I see some trash, I'm gonna just try to throw it away. My mom come talk to me about chores, I'm gonna just do it. Like it's not really a back and forth anymore. It's just like a whatever. Like this is life. Life is chores. Life is the mundane, and it's also the beautiful and the spectacular and the showy. So, so yeah. So yeah. Um. Yep. All right. That's all I have to say. Uh. Shout out everybody. Good night.